You got no respect.
No respect.
Now get out.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're examining the most amazing conspiracy theories in the TV industry that actually had an element of truth.
How old are you?
I am 25 years old, Mr. Cowell.
All right, and why are you here in?
To try out for American Idol.
Number 20. The show was rigged. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Which one are we going to hear today?
The Legend of the Lucky Pig of Amelia Earhart.
90s kids might remember Legends of the Hidden Temple, a game show which briefly ran on Nickelodeon based around stunts, mythology, and treasure hunting. However, the Temple Run, the show's final and most iconic segment, was often so complex and confusing that many contestants struggled to make it to the prize within the given time limit. This led to some speculation that the show was rigged. And, well, yeah, pretty much. The host, Kirk Fogg, basically admitted as much to The Great Big Story, claiming,
producers were only allowed to give out 8 championships a year, so there was a budget. And that's the truth of that.
Ah, dang, budget's getting in the way of fun. Number 19, the Contestants Get Teaching, Survivor.
You'll climb over, crawl under, maneuver around those obstacles as you make your way to the finish.
For the most part, Survivor is the real deal. But like all reality shows, there is a little bit of editing trickery. Before challenges, Jeff quickly goes through the course and explains to the contestants what they need to do. He then tells them to get into position, and the challenge begins. However, it always goes so smoothly that some started thinking, hang on, there's no way the contestants remembered all of that. They don't. According to Today, both Jeff and the game's constructor walked through the challenge with the players, explaining each section in detail and even allowing the tribes to strategize. Of course, they just don't film that part.
All right, we'll rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. We'll get started.
Number 18, suddenly killed off Susan, Seinfeld.
She expired. Are you sure?
May 16th, 1996 was kind of a weird day for Seinfeld fans. That's when George's fiancée, Susan, suddenly ups and dies after licking a number of toxic envelopes. Seriously, she just gets sick and keels over in a matter of seconds. The bizarre and abrupt ending to the story arc was controversial, and some speculated that it wasn't entirely a creative decision. This was confirmed when Jason Alexander appeared on The Howard Stern Show and claimed that actress Heidi Swedberg was difficult to work with. He revealed that many cast members had problems playing off her, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus made a comment about killing off Susan. Larry David loved the idea, and the rest is sitcom history.
I can't do it! Help me, Jerry, help me!
Why don't you just break it off with her? Tell her it's over!
Number 17, John Amos randomly disappears. Good times.
We regret to inform you that your husband, James Evans, was killed in an automobile. Oh my God.
It's a bold choice to kill off your main character via letter. That was what fans of Good Times got when they and the Evans family learned that James had been killed in a car accident. Talk about an anticlimactic goodbye. Naturally, this led some fans to speculate that something fishy was going on behind the scenes. The official word was that Amos left to pursue a film career, but viewers weren't buying it. It was Amos himself who revealed the truth, claiming that he had been fired owing to repeated arguments with the producers and for openly criticizing the show's direction. Amos hated the increasing emphasis on JJ's comedic shenanigans, which he felt undermined the realistic tone of the series.
I'll put it this way, I wasn't very tactful in my complaints about the script or the script points.
Number 16, the Ingram incident. Who wants to be a millionaire?
I mean, I'm 80% of the time I'm wrong when I guess, so... No, I'll go Craig David. Yeah.
British Army Major Charles Ingram was the third contestant to win the top prize on the British version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. During his appearance on the show, Ingram struggled with many of the questions, but then seemed to make a series of improbable correct guesses, leading the producers to suspect that something was amiss. They were so suspicious that they refused to hand over the money and launched an official investigation. While reviewing the footage, they found that someone would cough when the correct answer was said. Sometimes it came from a waiting contestant, Tequin Whittick, and other times from Ingram's wife, who was watching in the audience. All three were officially charged, receiving fines and suspended prison sentences.
He then went for A1. Then, because I actually rather lost the plot of his thinking then.
Number 15. Much of the show is planned in advance. Pawn Stars.
So this is it. The OJ Bronco!
As viewers have long suspected, Pawn Stars engages in a lot of behind-the-scenes trickery. People don't just waltz into the uber-busy store, sell that King Arthur sword they had laying around, and walk out rich. Pawn Stars isn't exactly scripted, and many of the items and sellers are indeed authentic, but they don't just walk in. They are vetted by the producers beforehand, and guests are kicked out of the store to film the pre-planned segments using background extras. This process often requires multiple takes, and the guests are often coached on how to behave on camera. Executive producer Brent Montgomery also told the cast members to buy items they otherwise wouldn't have in order to make good TV.
$250. You know what? I'm going to give you $250 just because of the story you told me. Thanks, man.
Number 14, Patrick Dempsey's departure, Grey's Anatomy.
Patrick Dempsey, and more on his shocking departure from Grey's Anatomy. It stunned fans.
It was this medical drama that made Patrick Dempsey a star, so it was kind of odd when he suddenly up and left in April 2015. He claimed that he wanted to spend more time with his family, but some fans thought there were ulterior motives. They were somewhat vindicated in 2021 when the book, How to Save a Life, was published. While it's true that Dempsey left over scheduling issues, that wasn't the whole story. The book's authors reveal that Dempsey turned into a nightmare, often terrorizing the set and bringing up HR issues. They also claim that some cast members had all sorts of PTSD with him. The details are murky, but his behavior led to his swift exit from the series.
So we're kissing, but we're not dating?
I knew that was going to come up.
Number 13, there's no shopping involved. House Hunters.
What I've got for us is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
Okay.
just a few blocks from elementary school.
Oh, that's good.
This enduringly popular show sees a couple touring a number of houses, typically 3, and then choosing one to buy. But as many have long suspected, there's not actually much hunting to be found on House Hunters. People involved with the show have come forward throughout the years, claiming that they had already purchased their house before appearing on the show. Producers typically have them tour their own recently purchased home, along with 2 other random houses they have no intention of buying. These houses are often volunteer homes, Airbnb rentals, and even places belonging to friends of the cast and crew. After touring all 3 houses, the couple then chooses their own in a staged debate filmed for the camera.
Definitely like the character of the 50s style home.
And that dog park for Baxter, that would be so convenient.
If he could just find a way to walk himself there, it'd be perfect.
Number 12, Jeffrey DeMunn was loyal to Frank Darabont, The Walking Dead.
Dale? You seen Carl?
Shane took him down to the quarry. There was some mighty bold talk about catching frogs.
It's not rare for shows to diverge from their source material, but this one had many curious aspects that had fans raising their eyebrows. Jeffrey DeMunn's Dale Horvath was killed off in a rather abrupt manner, and long before his print counterpart died in the comics. This was a rather curious decision, but it also coincided with the controversial departure of showrunner Frank Darabont, who was fired over budgetary disagreements. As DeMunn is a regular in Darabont's films, viewers knew the timing wasn't just a crazy coincidence. Back in 2018, DeMunn confirmed the theory to Cleveland.com, stating that he quit the show after Darabont was fired.
Sorry, brother.
Number 11, The Bill Cosby Problem, The Cosby Show.
This is what they created, so we wouldn't have to hear this in the house.
This sitcom helped define the 1980s with its topical themes, cozy atmosphere, and lead performance of Bill Cosby, who grew to be known as America's dad. But there was an intense underlying darkness circulating the show, even if many people didn't want to believe it. Rumors swirled that Cosby had a history of sexual violence, a history that stretched back 20 years to the mid-60s. Women like Joan Tarshish and Wendy Williams made reference to Cosby's sketchy history while the show was still airing, and the tabloid National Enquirer ran stories about the allegations. However, these claims were largely ignored. It wasn't until 2014 that Cosby's downfall truly began, and we can never return to The Cosby Show in the same way.
So I dust the article off, and I talk about it in my Dish the Dirt segment, you know, with the Wake Up Club. I was part of a club.
Number 10, Ending on Bad Terms, Sex in the City. Carrie Bradshaw and Samantha Jones were a breakthrough for female friendship on TV.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, come on. You gotta do better than that.
Sadly, that dynamic was plagued by rumors of tensions between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall, especially over salary.
I'm gonna splash some water on my face and then I'm going home. And I will not be judged by you or society.
These rumors were confirmed after the series finale. Pay disputes even factored into the show's end. Fans thus suspected that Samantha was written out of the revival series, and just like that, out of spite. Well, Parker later announced that Cattrall wasn't even invited to return. It was simply understood that she wouldn't be interested after begrudgingly doing 2 Sex and the City movies. Luckily for fans, Cattrall made an appearance in the 2nd season of And Just Like That. Whether Samantha is here to stay may still depend on Cattrall and Parker.
And have a great night.
Tough. Bye.
Number 9, Izzys Tumor, Grey's Anatomy. Medical residents are known to work unhealthy hours. Apparently, so are medical showcasts. Playing Dr. Izzy Stevens on Grey's Anatomy, actress Katherine Heigl was termed difficult to work with and regularly spoke out against onerous working conditions.
Alex, hey, you shouldn't be out here. Dr. Burke needs to
back off, please?
In 2008, she withdrew her name from Emmy consideration because she felt her role was underwritten. So the following season, Izzy was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Co-star James Pickens Jr. soon confirmed popular suspicions that this arc was written to keep Heigl in line.
My hair's starting to fall out.
You still look good.
Izzy just happened to make a remarkable recovery after Heigl's contract negotiations. Her on-set antics still got her axed after season 6, but she's now more critical of her own behavior than the show.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
It's like it never happened.
Number 8. Fake Cash. Cash Cab. The fast-paced quiz show Cash Cab played to the fantasy that anyone could win big at any moment. Riders in the cab won money from host Ben Bailey based on correct answers to a series of questions.
Congratulations, here's your $3,000 bucks.
Many viewers assumed that contestants' winnings didn't actually come in cash. Sure enough, the dollar bills that winners flashed at the camera were props. They later received their prize money by mailed checks for tax purposes. That is, if they didn't void their winnings by divulging production secrets.
Congratulations, you guys, you were great.
Oh my God!
Nice to meet you, man.
Cash Cab was serious about its illusions. Some contestants have even defied the NDA to reveal that they were recruited before entering Bailey's taxi. But the prop bills perfectly reflect how Cash Cab is deceptive down to the title.
All right, congratulations, ladies. Here's your $1,200 bucks.
Number 7. Sometimes you gotta go. Cheers. Carla Tortelli's abrasive personality is more endearing to Cheers fans than the show's characters. The single mother's lonely days seemed over when she married Eddie LeBecq, until he died in a freak Zamboni accident.
Can't go to graduation, huh?
No, he can't.
What's the excuse?
He's dead.
This dark and bizarre twist was so removed from Cheers' tone that viewers suspected vindictiveness behind it. Eddie's actor Jay Thomas had jokingly lamented kissing Rhea Perlman on a radio show he hosted. He himself theorized that this comment got him fired.
I say, let's get on with the honeymoon, eh?
In 2006, a writer on the show revealed that Perlman did in fact have Eddie written off to spite Thomas. Eddie was even posthumously outed as a polygamous con man. Though Thomas claimed he meant to insult Carla rather than her actress, he should have watched his words.
I'm Eddie's poor grieving widow.
That's impossible. See this?
Yeah? Well, see this?
Number 6. Leno steals the show. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. With NBC's Late Night with David Letterman considered a worthy lead-in from Johnny Carson, Letterman was poised to succeed Carson upon his retirement in 1992. Instead, comedian Jay Leno took over The Tonight Show. This sparked enormous controversy among audiences and within the industry.
Let's see how you all feel in 30 years.
As Leno had become Carson's resident guest host, many suspected a backroom deal to oust Letterman. It wasn't until the 2021 docuseries, The Story of Late Night, when it was revealed that Leno really did have a secret succession contract.
Jay Leno had just signed a new deal that guaranteed Jay The Tonight Show whenever Johnny stepped down.
Letterman's conflicts with NBC executives actually cinched this deal. Though Leno overcame his initial ratings slump to become as big as CBS's Letterman, the two have been feuding ever since Leno's deal was just speculation.
And from that day on, Jay Leno and The Tonight Show are #1. The late night crown is back at NBC.
Number 5. Good Guy Gordon. Hell's Kitchen.
Hey, Red Team, this is painful. Who just gave me them? Who cooked them?
Gordon Ramsay is hailed as one of the most popular chefs in the world and one of the biggest jerks on TV. Especially in its American adaptation, Ramsay hosts the aptly named Hell's Kitchen with deliciously diabolical intensity.
Look at me. I got one big message for you. Hey, you! Get out.
Many fans are skeptical that he's really bringing that much heat. He is notably more reserved on such other shows as MasterChef. True, Ramsay has a share of feuds with other celebrity chefs, but his TV apprentices assert that he's a great and patient mentor. He also has a reputation of being devoted to family, philanthropy, and fans. The caricature of his perfectionism is just an entertaining alter ego. As cranky as Ramsay does get when his restaurants lag in quality, he clearly takes his brand seriously.
Tonight was your best service. Yes, excellent, Jess. What do you mean?
Number 4. The Puppy Episode. Ellen. As a 90s sitcom star, Ellen DeGeneres was a popular figure, but also the subject of rampant rumors about her sexuality. There was intense speculation about whether she was gay, and if her personal orientation would have any effect on her sitcom's character.
What if I said something shocking to you, like my whole life has been a lie, and I'm really left-handed?
The strict secrecy surrounding production of the cryptically named Puppy episode led many to suspect something big. Indeed, the episode followed Ellen Morgan's realization that she's gay.
Susan, I'm gay.
Perhaps not so coincidentally, DeGeneres herself came out on the cover of Time magazine at about the time the episode aired. Sadly, the backlash and boycotts resulted in Ellen's cancellation the next year. ABC's important breakthrough was soured by the refusal to fight for it.
For the first time in my life, I feel comfortable with myself.
Number 3. So bad it's good TV. American Idol. It's no secret that American Idol hopefuls have mere seconds to wow scouts and producers in a series of preliminary auditions. The real mystery is how a lot of so-called singers get past that round. The popular theory was that the producers included some of the worst auditions for comic relief. Indeed, American Idol's strange or downright terrible singers are such a phenomenon that televised auditions were arranged around that trope.
She bangs! She bangs! Oh, baby, when she moves, she moves!
However, out of concern that this tradition was exploitative, producer Trish Kinane ended it with the show's 2018 revival. American Idol is popular and entertaining enough without having to publicly humiliate people.
Oh, I'll tell you goodnight, close the door.
Number 2. Playing matchmaker. The Bachelor. Romance on The Bachelor tends to be polarizing. It's also meticulously manufactured. Producers plan dates, arrange interactions, and basically keep the cast trapped. Cynics have long suspected that even The Bachelor's decisions are predetermined.
Taylor, will you accept this rose?
I will. Thank you.
In 2018, former executive producer Scott Jeffries confirmed that contestants really are advanced or eliminated partially based on audience response. Contestant-turned-bachelorette Ali Fedotowsky claimed that this practice extends to the spin-offs.
Will you accept this rose?
Absolutely.
There are assurances that producers only completely control how rose ceremonies play out, and that their influence on stars declines as the competition progresses. Of course, the unfair pressure placed on these courtships is well documented. Directly or indirectly, Bachelor Nation's controversial love stories give too much agency to off-screen cupids.
Will you accept this rose?
I am thrilled to accept this rose.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Quiz Show Scandal. 21. Quiz shows were popular TV programs in the 1950s. NBC's 21 was a big hit, especially for the rivalry between Charles Van Doren and Herbert Stempel. A defeated Stempel later upended public perception of the show by claiming that it was extensively staged.
Then you win $20,000. Congratulations.
On top of confirming that 21 contestants were given answers and choreographed for drama, congressional investigations discovered that most quiz shows were rigged. The scandal was so immense that it basically killed the genre. Jeopardy revived it in '64 with gameplay that made it hard to cheat. Still, after being immortalized by Robert Redford's quiz show, the 1950s rigging trend is considered one of the most scandalous TV conspiracies ever. That is, among the ones we know of.
Thank you for being a wonderful contestant. Herb Stempel, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you have any more theories about famous TV shows? Let us hear them in the comments below.
You're a wonderful husband and a loving father, but darling, you do have a problem.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.